Are you?
Yeah, should be fit, but not always. There we go. We're live. We've got dark tops on this side and pink tops on this side today. It's almost like a quiz, isn't it? It feels like we're about to do a quiz, like pinks versus dark hoodies.
Yeah, different teams.
Oh, look, Georgina's very impatient because we were potentially 30 seconds late. She's come straight in with the I'm waiting and ready. So, Georgina, what's your question if you are waiting and ready? What do you want to know? So, gents, I've got Tristan from the landlord page. Good to see you, Tristan. I've got Will from obviously one half of Will and Mike, and excited to see Ryan from Lauren and Ryan, who is obviously a new partner launching today. So we're going to hear all about that in a second as well. We've got quite a bit to cover. We've got the Zoopla house price index. We've got a few bits to talk about in terms of data, what's going on. Got to have a conversation about Will Smith and what he's been up to this week, because that is of interest as well. And we're going to get a little bit of a lettings update from Tristan and find out what's going on in the podcast. So first thing that Georgina's come in with before I come and see how everyone's doing, we've got to go to Ryan. But how has the launch gone today so far, bud?
Thank you very much. It's been great, to be fair. It's been really good fun. Been counting the likes come in, and been really overwhelmed with the support from everyone. Obviously, from everyone in from you guys, but just family and friends as well. I think our video's been viewed nearly 1,000 times already in the first day, which is incredible. So, just thank you so much for all the support. I'm just really looking forward to getting officially started.
Awesome. That's great to hear. Yeah, it's nice to know that people are sharing it, liking it, commenting all around as well, which is awesome. Rael's saying hello and evening, Ryan. Welcome to your first chat.
Hi, everyone.
Thanks for the comments for everyone that's commenting. Make sure you drop us a like so we know we can hear you. As always, we're across a couple of different platforms at the moment. Will, talking of new, how is things in your house? Because obviously there is a new baby bags on the horizon at the moment. So
there's a new baby bags. I've been off the radar for the last week and a half, but pleased to say that the birth of our daughter came on the 17th of March. So I've been a busy and very tired boy.
Well, congratulations, obviously, to you and the family. I have met the little bubba, and she's very, very cute. So, I know what it's like, obviously, not getting much sleep.
Yeah.
Would you say you're biased?
I said sometimes she's very cute. The other time she's very loud.
Not at 3 in the morning, obviously. Love that. Absolutely love it. Tristan, how are things going in the lettings world? Is there any changes at the moment that we should instantly know about? Is the market still bananas?
Market's still crazy. It's same old. It's been lack of stock, increased demand. Prices are still getting premiums on properties because of that. I haven't seen it slow down. I don't expect it to slow down anytime soon. Couple of things, obviously, to bear in mind. As of tomorrow is April, and in April there's the heat pump grant for people that are looking to do that. We talk about it on tomorrow's podcast as well. Just going into a bit more detail of our thoughts on it, our truthful thoughts, and we'd love to hear you guys. We're going to post on the socials about that, so just make sure you get involved.
It's hard to make that sound exciting, isn't it? You did well, but heat pump update is a tough one to flog. That
it is, but it's how the way things are going with the cost of fuel going up. I had an email from British Gas saying that mine will be increasing as of this month as well, or as of April as well. So it's there to help with all of that, and time will tell, I suppose.
There's been a frenzy, I think, today of people trying to contact their utility companies, and from what I hear, people trying to log the meter readings. All the websites have crashed conveniently, so a lot of people have not been able to log their readings today, which therefore means they can't sort of almost. The reason why people are doing that is because the tariffs are going to jump. Is it not nearly 60%? I think tomorrow. And people are trying to sort of almost draw a line in the sand, aren't they, and say this is my utility payment up to today, but a lot of the companies have crashed. So as a result, it's going to be interesting to see what happens between now and midnight. I know Martin Lewis, if anyone wants to get updates on that, Martin Lewis on TikTok, or I think he's on Instagram as well. I'm sure there's some videos banding around on most social media platforms, but He's done some really good videos around exactly what it means, talking about fixed rates as well, and why maybe people shouldn't sign into a fixed rate tariff on their utilities, because I think that the difference is like a 40% increase, but he's expecting only a 25% growth over the next 6 months. So yeah, if anyone wants to know about utilities and stuff like that, we're not going to talk about it tonight much, but yeah, check out Martin Lewis. It'll be interesting to see. Anyone got anything planned for April Fools? Don't need to let it go or fill us in. But Ryan, anything planned for April Fools?
Do you know what, we were talking about it a lot on a couple of our videos for tomorrow, but I haven't actually planned anything, to be honest with you. Put a little thing out there, but nothing major. No jokes or pranks or anything.
Maybe plan it tonight, see what you come up with. Mind you, just sent me a video, so I might be able to do something with it myself. We'll see.
I got 15
about
minutes.
Will, Mike?
Well, Mike, you'll have to ask Mike that question. I've otherwise got baby brain, so I've only just remembered it's Thursday today. So I'm going to go down for my sleep after this, but I'll have to ask Mike that one.
Mind you, I've done some videos for Mike as well. Me and Mike have obviously teamed up on a few videos, and I've got some outtakes that I could send your way, actually, Will, if you want some April Fool stuff.
That's all you need, yeah.
Yeah, that's all we need. There's always stuff for you, Tristan. Say what?
So I think I've got a couple of Mike as well, so I'm sure I can get some out for you, Will.
Yeah, send them all my way.
Have you got anything planned at HQ, Tristan?
No plans as of yet. I suppose you'll find out tomorrow.
Yeah, I think everyone's keeping their cards close to their chest. How's the Tilehurst and sort of West Reading market at the moment, Ryan? What's cracking over sort of RG30, RG31? What's going on in that world?
To be honest with you, I think it's probably very similar to the vast majority of England and the southeast. The market's pretty crazy over here. We're doing some stats for our market update videos, and it's 88% of all properties that have been listed in RG31 this year have sold, which is incredible. So the demand is still massively outweighing supply, as I said, similar to most of the areas. So yeah, it's looking good. Prices are on the up. As the demand's still there, so it's showing no signs of slowing from what we're seeing.
Lovely, love that. It does seem at the moment like there is no sign of anything slowing up, I would say, at the moment. So yeah, really interesting stuff with everything going on at the moment. Will, I'm just going to touch on this as we sort of bring this up at the moment. This is the Zoopla house price index. Mm-hmm. In Crowthorne, are you finding the same thing as what Ryan's finding over that direction? The stat in the middle there says 65% increase on demand in March, or up to the 20th of March for 4 weeks. And that's over a 5-year average. Are you finding the same sort of thing? Sandhurst, Crowthorne, just hectic?
Yeah, it is hectic. I mean, again, I will say big shout out to Mike and a big fair play to Mark, but everything we've sort of put on in the last couple of weeks has had 2-3 offers on it over the course of a weekend, literally. Great example, Hatch Ride. I think you've seen the details, Ian. Nice 3-bed semi, good footprint, good size, but needs a heck of a lot of work. It can obviously be something really nice, but it just went bananas. And as a result, we got 4 offers on it, and it's gone. So yeah, absolutely. It was another record month, I think, for March, and prices are still on the up, as we can see there. So, particularly for those good 3-4 bed family homes.
Yeah, no, it's a powerful market. It's not showing signs of slowing down. I'll scan through this. There's an interesting bit here. Hopefully people can see it if they zoom in. This is the demand, 65% increase, and this is over a 5-year average. This is number of sales agreed is up 29% in that 4-week window. But actually interesting, there is 5% more properties coming to the market. So it is active in the southeast at the moment, but not as active as demand. That's the problem. There's a 60% swing on what we need, which is resulting in this, which is 42% less properties on the market, which is exactly what Ryan and Will are explaining there. What's interesting here with this graph is it just shows the areas. If the pink dot is above the bar chart, it effectively means that's normal. So it normally would grow at this rate. And if the pink dot is below the top of the bar chart, it's not normal. And this is the southeast here. And you can see there's a big gap between where we would normally be growing at this rate of about 6% and where we're currently growing at this rate. So it's sort of highlighted in the southeast England exactly what's going on. This I'll touch on in a second, but this is house price rates compared to earnings. And for the south, for sort of southern England, it's showing about sort of 8.5 in a ratio at the moment, comparison to the millennium turnover, where it's about 5.5. So effectively what that means is more people need to earn more money to buy a property, and the rate in which it's growing at the moment is wildly in excess of what people are earning, but it's still not showing any signs in infecting or affecting demand. This is kind of what's happened over the sort of January 2021 period with stamp duty spikes. And you can just see here that at the turn of the year, demand rocketed, and it's just starting to taper down now. Southeast is this colour. You just see it starting to taper down now, but it's still very high in demand. And the average days to sell a property across the UK at the moment is 29 days, which is this little bar chart here. So you can see it's much lower than it had been in the prior year. So that's kind of the Zoopla house price index. Any surprises in that for you, Ryan, or is that exactly as you're experiencing it?
It's exactly what we're experiencing. So the more is, there is slightly more properties. What a lot of estate agents, a lot of stuff I've read is there are more properties available, which is good, but that demand is just continuing to rise. I know we touched on the cost of living discussion as well. That doesn't show any signs of slowing the market. I think we're going to be another year, 18 months before we really see the market, return to normal, whatever that looks like. But absolutely, I agree with everything Zoopla says for once.
Yeah, which normally take it with a pinch of salt, but actually they've really got their house in order with those updates. Say hello to a few people. Chris is saying good evening. Good evening, Chris. Thanks for joining us. If you've got a question, fire it at us. Stephen Brown saying hello. Doing a great job, guys. Appreciate that, Stephen. Thanks for checking in. And we've got Sanjay who's saying hello as well. Sanjay's always got a pearl of wisdom. Bonkers is his word, but have you got a different one this evening, Sanjay? We'd love to know. And just like that, as if by magic, let's read it out. There has been a 26% in price reduction since the start of the year in RG12. What's that all about? So he's effectively saying that estate agents are still having a big swing of properties reduced in price. Quite topical, actually, Will. I'll just come to you on this because I've been on TikTok since the start of the year, and I've just been playing around with it, just seeing what people are saying. But one video that I put on at the start of the week was about estate agents overvaluing in this market because there's less on, as we've just seen. They get a bit desperate. They've got figures to achieve, and they put their, what we call in the industry, the rocket boots on. Sanjay's alluding to that because it effectively means that you go too high and then you've got to come down to a realistic valuation. With your baby brain on, how would you counter that if you were a client? What advice would you be giving to the client who's had 3 valuations and is getting lured by the most expensive one?
It's sad to see that, actually, that there are too many cases still of 26% price reduction since the start of the year, because it's just unnecessary. I mean, there are far too many, or many other case studies which show that if you price something well, it will go the first weekend of marketing. That's how the market is working at the moment. There's loads more buyers than there is properties. So anybody that is sitting on the market 4-5 weeks looking to reduce, it's just completely out of character of the market. As I say, there's far more evidence to show that if you put the house on at the right price to start with, you will get the better price every time. Great example of something I've seen. There's been a couple of examples in Crowthorne actually recently where they've come on at sort of astronomical prices, possibly because we're coming to end of quarter, as we say, need those targets. First couple of weeks, they've taken like 20k hits and they're still sat there, and it's just unnecessary. It's so bad for the client, so bad for their journey, and it's not going to help them move. So just get it right first time. It's all there. The evidence is there. The price support is there. Get it right, get it sold, get the best price.
Yeah, love that. Tristan, same thing in lettings? Are you finding there's certain agents that are overvaluing? Is it all kind of, there's a bit of logic behind it because landlords don't want a void period? How are you finding it?
Yeah, I'm not really typically seeing it. I mean, there's been a couple that's come on, even from my side, where they're probably slightly higher than you would typically see it. But where there's nothing like it in comparable on the market, and there's a lot of demand out there, it will put a premium price on the property. We've listed, I'm finding like new homes, for example, they're getting very good premium prices, but there's massive demand for them, whereas before they weren't as attractive. But I've listed 3 of them in the last month, and everyone's gone within 24 hours with multiple offers, which just shows that if it's the right property, it will go quickly. And in some cases, if it's the right price as well, which you've got the evidence there when you value the property, because that's what you sit down and go through. If it comes on at the right price and it's attractive, it's going to get multiple offers anyway. And I find typically over asking price is quite common now. People are saying, what do I have to do to get it? What price do I need to pay? And unfortunately, the answer is I can't tell you that figure. You need to tell me what you're prepared to pay. And we are getting over asking price in most cases. But typically, we're not finding it so much in lettings, but properties are going so quickly. It's just finding the right tenant.
I think that's the way to market at the moment, is the right estate agent and the right advice is to market, like Will says, like you say there, Tristan, at a price. But it doesn't mean it's a fixed price. It's not, I'm asking for that price anymore. That's the price we're going to market at. And if demand dictates it, you'll get over that price. And if it doesn't look like it's the right price because you've gone in a little bit too heavy, then obviously it's not going to shift and it's going to have to come down. But what I'm finding, Ryan, especially in the little pocket villages, you're obviously in Tilehurst, it's quite a close-knit sort of community there. People spot the agents that are doing it, and the internal chatter in the communities sort of pick it out. They know one that's gone on and it's a bit like, oh, what's happened there, don't
Absolutely. I think the best advice you can offer in this situation is to the sellers themselves. There's so much information out there these days from various web portals and sources. Like, just do your own research. You'll know if someone's telling you it's too much money. If you've got a 3-bedroom semi-detached house, it's worth $500,000, for example, and someone's telling you it's worth 600. Look, you got to do your own research to realise that they're telling you a lie. There's always a place to be ambitious, and this is the market to be ambitious with pricing, because things are selling and you're getting premium prices, but there's a point you just don't want to cross it. So definitely my advice would always be do your own research before you have estate agents out. Absolutely the right thing to do.
I think if someone's got 3 agents out, Sanjay's still going, as you can see from the comment below. I think if you've got 3 agents out and, let's say, for example, one comes in at 400, one comes in at 420, one comes in at 465, and you kind of think, something's not right there. I would say if you've really bought into the individual and you've got belief there, well, we've given you the data. 29 days is the average to get a property shifted. If they're that confident, tell them you're not going to do any more than a 29 day contract, in which case, if it's not done within 29 days and they have missold you, you've got the ability to go elsewhere and go with one of the estate agents that were upfront and honest from the beginning. Don't sign into the classic corporate contract, which is typically 18, 21 weeks. Some of them are 24 weeks. Just don't sign into those, is what I would say on that topic.
Absolutely.
Stephen's also said a congratulations to you, Will, on the baby.
Thanks, Stephen.
There we go. Stuart's jumped in. Stuart from the Maidenhead partner said, "Hi guys, hope the launch has gone well today, Ryan." So you're getting some support there internally as well, which is great.
Cheers, Stuart.
We've got Andy jumping on. Andy's asked a question. Evening, gents. If an agent is valuing higher, ask them to prove it without signing an agreement. Exactly what we kind of said. If that's the way you feel about it, but you're not sure and you want to try it, do it with no contract length or 29 days, like we mentioned. So, yeah, definitely. Tristan, just coming to you on the podcast. So we've got an episode tomorrow, which is quite an interesting one. This is not just for landlords, but this is also for people buying properties. In this podcast, we're talking about the best investment that someone could make as a landlord currently, or as a property investor, or as someone that's planning to buy a home, be in there 3-4 years, rent it out and then buy another, has normally been 1970s, 1980s, sometimes 1960s, house, freehold, something you can do a bit of work to, get the value up and then rent it out. Now, at the moment, with the way the EPC regulations are going to go, where it looks like landlords are going to be able to not rent anything under a C, maybe a D if we're lucky, and not all mortgage lenders are actually lending. In fact, not many mortgage lenders are doing buy-to-let deals under an E. It actually rules out anything grade 2 listed, anything 1930s, some of the 1960s stuff if it's not been insulated or had rewiring. So actually, the type of property now that a landlord needs to have is more often than not something built within the last 20, 30 years is what we've really discussed, isn't it, Tristan?
Yeah, like I said, it's not cost effective now to look at those older ones, and if it is, you need to factor that in because it's going to take a hell of a lot to bring it up, or it's not achievable. I do think there will be exemptions on the listed stuff, but until it's official, we won't know what the case will be on that because there's only so much you can do on something like that. But I think that would explain why the new build market's gone crazy for lettings from our side, because people are starting to look at more efficient properties. A lot of the investments that are being brought up by the investors I'm dealing with at the moment are buying stuff that's very close to a C or is a C, which is a typical 3-bedroom family home. But their costs you need to factor in when you're looking. And is new builds the way it's going? It seems to be that way in my opinion, but I suppose time will be the deciding factor on that.
And the reason why I bring it up in this chat is what I'm interested in. Ryan, you've worked in a couple of markets where it's dominant 1960s, 1970s, and you've worked in markets where it's a lot of new build flats. Mm-hmm. What it might mean is it might mean a lot of the landlords in the UK need to recycle their portfolio, so that they might actually need to sell their 30s, their 60s, the older stock, and almost, if they are going to replace it with newer stock, which frees up all of those properties for other buyers, gets the first time buyer market going. I guess that would be quite exciting for first time buyers. Take a landlord out of the equation, but everyone else would be quite happy with that in the UK, I would think.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, as we've talked, the whole kind of topic of discussion has been lack of stock. So if there was more properties coming available of that age for families to buy, then it's only a win-win, especially if the investors are reinvesting the money into newer properties. It's massively going to help. So yeah, I think it's a good thing ultimately.
Yeah. Sanjay's come in here, Will. He's carrying on with the overvaluing. In terms of estate agents' agreement lengths, in this type of market, do you think they should be abolished? Do you think they should be a rolling contract? Or do you think it's fair as it is that, we're bespoke estate agents. So when we launch a property, we're putting at least 2 days of our life into getting a property live. We're putting our own hand in our pocket for social media advertising. Obviously, we're paying to make sure that we can get to that process. We're buying the kit, the stock. We've got a couple of decades worth of experience, that we put hard blood, sweat and tears in. Do you think we should just do it on confident levels to say, look, this client is never going to leave us anyway because we're that confident? Or do you think there should be some little commitment from both parties at the outset? Or do you think they should just be abolished altogether because it's not fair? What's your view?
I think that it's an interesting question, and Sanjay's clearly passionate about his agreement length and talking about it. But I think that, in this market, as you said, we will, maybe the old-fashioned estate agent would say, right, we've got that agreement. Now let's wait for the 14 days unless you sign a waiver that allows us to start straight away. Otherwise, we're at risk. We might lose it, and then we've locked them into 21 weeks, wherever it may be. That's the kind of old school mentality. But as you say, we'll get started day one. Beat the portals. Great, we've got a couple of viewings for you already. Why should you need a long contract in this market if you've been honest? And they want to use you and you've done your best job, well, you're going to sell the property. It's as simple as that. So why need the 20 weeks? So interesting question. Shorter agreements are the way forward. Whether or not they're completely abolished, maybe one to think about.
So effectively you're saying it's not the size of the length, but it's how you service it.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
April Fools tomorrow. We've got something there in the background, I'm sure. Tristan, Andy said new homes are a great investment. as a new homes to achieve on average 30% higher rent than a similar second-hand property, which, especially when the first tenant goes in, because they're renting a new build, which is a bit like buying a car. You know, you're the only owner. So Andy's agreeing, you know, great investments on the new homes there. Georgina's an estate agent with Avocado, and she's saying that she personally asked for 8 weeks. She doesn't feel she needs any more. And each Avocado agent is individual to their own terms, but that's from Georgina's perspective, how she feels comfortable. So, you know, interesting topic there as well. Tristan, you've got a charity boxing match coming up. Will Smith smacked Chris Rock in the face. It's got nothing to do with property. Was he right to defend his wife? Was it unprofessional? Should he have been arrested? And what's your take on it? In a 30-second summary, let's not drag this out.
Yeah, I think he could have dealt with the situation better. But I do feel, I don't think he should have done what he done, in my opinion. I won't go into detail on here. The answer is no, he shouldn't have.
You're saying no.
It's not a charity event, but I am fighting on the 28th of May if anyone's interested.
Oh, it's not for charity. He's just fighting.
Right.
I think with Will Smith, what he did was, you know, obviously everyone is going to defend their wife, of course, but I just think he could have dealt with it in a much more mature way. He's obviously a global icon. If he just stood up and walked out, that would have had a much bigger impact professionally. People would have seen it as the right thing to do. But I just think you can't, in any walk, any form of life, or especially if you're a global superstar, you can't hit someone on live TV and expect not to have repercussions. It's completely out of order, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's crazy. I was shocked. I thought it was a stage thing. I couldn't believe it. But what it has done is it's made a phenomenal dance remix using that. I don't know if anyone's seen it, but it's quality. I mean, it's all over all of the Instagram reels and TikToks at the moment, and it has brought that to the party.
Was it?
Will, anything? I know that Mike's been taking control of things, but anything you want to share with us on the horizon? Is there any new listings about to pop up, Sandhurst, Crowthorne, that's not on the internet yet that you want to give everyone a little bit of a teaser about?
Yeah, so we're working on a bungalow with a fair bit of land. Now, I know everybody gets quite excited about bungalows. Everybody gets excited about land. So it's one that Mike's working on over in Finch, Hampstead. So I think it will be coming on in the region of around the sort of 675 mark, maybe 650-ish mark. Keep an eye on that. That's going to be a good one. Other than that, we've got a couple of other bits that we're working on. Watch this space.
Stay on the socials. It would be unfair to put Ryan on the spot on day one of launch, but I'm sure when we check in with him next time, there'll be some stuff bubbling, obviously from the launch of the business. So looking forward to hearing about those and getting stuck into Tilehurst and Colcott and West Reading and maybe a bit of Thiel direction, all of those type of areas, because Avocado have managed to sell some properties over there. And if you're thinking of moving in that direction, or if you're just interested and you're local and live in the market, make sure you jump on and follow Lauren and Ryan in that patch. If you type in Lauren and Ryan Avocado, it will definitely pop up on Facebook, on Instagram. Some really cool intro videos already going on. I think some market update videos going out as well, Ryan, over the next couple of days. Got
our first one. We filmed our second one today. Got about 15 minutes of outtakes for that. So might be able to get it done for April Fool's tomorrow. But yeah, got our RG30 full market update going out tomorrow morning. RG31 will be either Saturday or Sunday. So some good content coming. But yeah, got a couple of valuations booked in, which is good. So hopefully there'll be some properties very, very soon. If there was one type of property in that area that you've got demand for at the moment, or that you could sell in definitely under 29 days, what would be that one single golden nugget at the moment? I think for Tilehurst, it's all about the family homes at the moment. We're really lucky. We've got like literally every single primary school is fantastic. So people generally move here for the schools. Got great transport links as well. So big family home. West Reading, it's the terraces and the modern apartments. They're in high demand. So anything of that nature would be greatly appreciated. Awesome. And Tristan, for rental,
What's on the bubble? I know you've been out. I've not seen much of you actually, other than on Zoom the last couple of weeks. So I know you've been hectic. What's on the bubble this month for you, or next month, I should say?
Got a 4-bedroom, semi-detached, over 2,000 square feet going live. It's been delayed slightly in terms of coming available. It'll be available from mid-June onwards. So if you are on the look, that will hit the portals in probably about 2 weeks now. But it's massive, big ensuite bathroom, driveway parking for 3 cars. I've got a 3-bedroom detached in Shinfield Gardens, brand new, just gone live. Been a lot of interest on that already. 3 good sized bedrooms, that as well, and a downstairs WC. I've got a property out of area as well. So if you're looking to go back into London, I've got a property in Acton coming up in 2 weeks. It's a 3-bed end terrace. That's going to be coming on for around 1900s. And I've got a couple of flats that I'm talking with that should be coming on. One will be in Reading, one will be in Bracknell. So yeah, we've got a few more bubbling as well.
How far will you go for your clients, Tristan?
Well, it depends on the property, but I'll go as far as I need to go.
Okay. The world is the limit. He would love a little trip away abroad. So if anyone's got a property to rent in Spain or somewhere like that, he's keen.
I've done one over in Spain before, remember?
Yeah, I do remember actually. Yeah, love that. So if you're watching this evening and we're on the rerun, and obviously we're not live anymore because we're about to finish up. Excuse me. Still put your comments in. Still share the video. Obviously, pop us a like. It's much appreciated. But if you ask us a question in the comments afterwards, we will still answer them because we do pick those up after we've gone live as well. Thanks for everyone that's engaged. I think we've had Andy, Georgina, Stuart, Sanjay, Stephen, Chris, Rael, and Georgina at the start. So thanks for everyone that's asked questions. Make sure you follow Lauren and Ryan, estate agents. Ryan's obviously launching today, as we've mentioned. Will and Mike, Crowthorne, Sandhurst, Finch. Will's obviously got a little golden nugget, a bungalow in Finch Hampstead. So if you want to see the Beat the Portals on that, stay online on his channel. And for all of these properties, wherever they may be, for updates on the podcast, for updates on what's going on with landlord legislation, buy-to-let of the week, make sure you check out the landlord page on Facebook and on Instagram. Gents, thank you very much for joining me. It's still light. It's still sunny. It might be snowing. Who knows? The weather is erratic. It's one of the strangest days I've ever experienced the weather, but enjoy your rest of your evenings.